So I had a question recently from a fighter basically who was telling me about a negative experience with weight cutting they'd had before. So they had successfully lost the weight, weighed in, successfully put the weight back on post weigh in, but then they had basically lost the weight they put back on the toilet because of the GI, so gastrointestinal distress that they were experiencing. And they wanted to know what caused this and what they should do in the future to prevent this. And just to say as well that this is relatively common with weight cutting, especially if not done properly. If the GI distress isn't managed, then yeah, it can be pretty nasty. So I thought I'd record a video just to tell you guys what could potentially cause this and the steps to take to make sure that you manage the GI distress when you are rehydrating and replenishing after a weight cut. So after a weight cut, you'll be consuming fluid to rehydrate and foods to replenish your carbohydrate stores. With the foods, things that could potentially cause this GI distress would be foods that are high in fat or foods that are high in fiber. Especially if you've done a low fiber diet in order to make weight, you really don't want to be introducing high volumes of fiber right after you've weighed in. So keep that low until the post-fight period. And then again, high volumes of fat can also cause GI distress. And what both of those do, fat and fiber, is they slow your digestion. And that's not what you want to be doing when you're post-weigh-in. You want your digestion to be fast so you can replenish your carbohydrate stores as quickly as possible, essentially. So you want to be avoiding high fiber and high fat foods, either or foods that are a combination of both. I see fighters after a weigh-in sometimes going and binging on junk food. Now, obviously, a lot of junk food is very high fat, so this is something that you would really want to avoid and save that sort of thing for after the fight if you're going to do it. Again, high fiber. If you've used a low fiber diet to make weight, don't go and suddenly have a ton of vegetables post weigh-in. Keep that fiber low until after the fight. So that's the food related things that could cause it. In terms of the fluid related things that could cause it, it would be hypertonic drinks. That's hype with an ER, tonic drinks. And so that is things like fizzy drinks, Coke, lemonade, Fanta, whatever, and things like Lucozade original. So not the sport version, but the original version. So you want to avoid them because they contain the ratio of carbohydrates, so sugar in those drinks, to water is too high. So there's too much carbohydrate and not enough water for your goals in those drinks. So avoid hypertonic drinks, fizzy drinks, basically. And in terms of what to do to avoid these GI distress symptoms in the future, so with your food intake, you want it to be low fat, low fiber, and high GI foods. And the foods that they're high GI and they're low fat and low fiber, so basically high GI carbohydrates with some protein as well, they increase your rate of digestion, they increase gastric emptying, which is what you want to do so you can replenish your fuel stores as quickly as possible. And these will also minimize your GI discomfort, basically. So remember I said that high fat and high fiber causes GI discomfort, so low fat and low fiber mitigates against GI discomfort. You want to be consuming foods that you're familiar with as well. So if you've been having a certain food all the way throughout camp, don't suddenly change it and have some food that you've never tried before after you've weighed in. Keep to similar foods that you're familiar with eating, foods that make you feel good and that your body is used to digesting. So don't suddenly switch it up and do something crazy there. Again, if you're someone who has struggled with this in the past, or you just want to be really sure, it can be a good idea to have liquid meals in the first hour or two post weigh-in. If you're suddenly taking on loads of food without being fully hydrated yet, because you're only an hour or two past the weigh and your body hasn't had full time to rehydrate, so consider having liquid meals within the first hour or two Post weigh-in, give your body time to rehydrate, and then once you're a bit more hydrated, you've taken on plenty of fluids, then you can move to solid foods. Okay, that wraps up my thoughts, so I hope that is helpful for you. If you've ever experienced something like this before, hopefully this video allows you to avoid that stress in the future. Make sure you like, comment, do all that good stuff. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and I will see you in the next one.